Alright, hey, what's going on guys? Blocksman here, back with another Teamfight Tactics video. So this is a Platinum game from my climb to Diamond. I just hit Diamond a little while ago. So this is a Soraka 3-star first place, and I just like to, in this kind of more educational series, I'm just going to look back at some good games I've gotten, and just take a look at what made them good, and what decisions I made, what I could have done better, potentially, and just overall kind of teach you guys the thought process of my playstyle. We'll just hit play here and get going. It's muted. And let me get some music rolling as well. We'll just toss on the stream playlist. Might be a little quiet. There we go. Alright, taking a little while to load up here. Let's oh wait, I just paused. Alright, here we go. So starting off the match, I'm gonna look for a rod. I took the Lux instead of the Blitzcrank for, I mean, I guess it's a slightly better synergy if I happen to, you know, randomly hit a Lux too. I do like the rod start just because I'm such a big fan of the AP comps this set. You know, the Talia, the MF, although if right now the C patch came out yesterday, the day that this video releases. I believe MF will still be pretty strong, but she won't be able to just be tossed in behind a set front line and you'll insta-win the game. So I think the best MF starting item and best item in general is Sword, because it can go AD or AP, because Sphere of Shojin is Miss Fortune's most important item. But I see I have a Jeweled Gauntlet here off the rip and a Lux pair, so I'm getting pretty happy about that. Just so I can use the item on one of the champs I started. But really, you should always be going for the item as opposed to, you know, the champion on the carousel. It's just happened to work out that I wanted to have a rod start. Alright, so here I have a ridiculous amount of pairs now. There's a Lulu pair in shop, a Poppy pair in the shop that I'm going to pick up as well. So I now have 4 pairs of 1 stars or 1 costs on my bench. And I don't know, it's really annoying to have this because obviously I want to hit those pairs to try to win streak early. Alright, so I have AFK, Exiles 1, and Battle Mage 1. Exiles 1 is pretty shit. A Battle Mage 1 sucks unless you're also going like another Battle Mage. And dependent on your comp and things like that, but really I'm a big fan of AFK, so you can see here I'm prepping my board to go AFK. Just to try to save as much HP as possible. And there we go, so I got 2 Defenders in. I got a Giant Spell on one of them, and a Jeweled Gauntlet on the Lux. And here we go, we're just gonna go AFK. I probably should have sold some champions to make some more gold, but it works out in the end. I mean, really, not having to do anything for these first 3 rounds and gaining 20 gold, it's just absolutely insane. You're gonna hit 50 gold by the end of the stage easily. Which is far more than anyone else is going to get, even with Underground. So unfortunately I didn't save any HP here with my play, but really it's about the loss streak, it's perfectly fine. I love AFK. It's genuinely my favorite silver augment. If I had to give a title to my favorite silver augment, it would be AFK. I know I mentioned my last FOD review that like top 3 were AFK, Consistency, and Recombobulator, but I think AFK is definitely my favorite. We'll see this guy also stayed level 3, but he's got the duelists with Knife's Edge, and his Nihilist got a Locket. Killed one champ, which is good enough for me. It's automatically going to put in the Lux pair. The way I like to think about these early kind of lost streak augments, and it's funny, I guess both of these VOD reviews are going to be about lost streaking, but that's alright. The way I like to think about them is it leaves your team very flexible, which means, in other words, like, you don't have a lot of direction right now. You have a Rel and 2 Luxes, but I mean, looking at all the pairs on the bench, you don't have a lot of direction. You're just playing just a bunch of random units, essentially. I mean, you got 2 Star Guardians and, you know, the Defender. You could move into a variety of different things, but overall, it's not like you rolled, like, a Kaisa Vayne off of PvE round, which I've had happen before, and you're like, okay, well, time to play Recon Duelists on stage 1-3, right? So it does leave you very flexible, which is good, but you need to make sure that you have enough gold to really utilize that flexibility and be willing to spend the gold to actually buy the champs that you want in your comp once you get stable. Because it can be really tough to stabilize out of these like underground or general lost streak compositions because you don't have any direction, so you're already down a couple champions, down, you know, 5 to 10 gold depending on how much you would have gotten. It's really just making sure that when you're lost streaking that you're going to have the gold, so don't just be buying random champions for no reason. I mean, AFK you really can't, but even beyond this, like, I'm still going to start, even beyond my initial AFK lost streak, I'm still going to be looking to hit 50 right away. You can see, I'm even trying to do it here, and I think I end up doing it. I just go down to 3 champions. Because it's so good. I pick up the Gadgetines, and that's 49 gold, so then I end up selling Annie and just putting in the 3rd champion as a Lulu. Because hitting 50 gold here was absolutely the play. I'm lost streaking anyway, there's no reason to try to put Gadgetine in or, you know, 2-star the Lulu to make this any powerful. I would have lost against Kaisa with Ginsu's and a 2-star Renekton, probably solo. Alright, moving into stage 2-6, the final PvP round of the stage. Obviously, I've hit my 60 gold, I've hit my 50 gold, and now I'm at 60. It's just absolutely crazy exiting this stage with this much gold. I'm gonna look into put in a few different champions here. We got an Alistar, he's a generally good unit, and able to be flexed into a lot of different compositions. AD, AP, he's just got that Aegis buff as well as Mascot, so very, very flexible unit. And of course, Lee Sin's got the heart synergy with our Lulu, just playing our pseudo carry, I suppose. An item holder. I forgot to even point out my carousel choice. I was too busy talking about lost streaking. I picked a tier just because I'm not going to bother finishing the Giant's Belt into a Sunfire. That's kind of a win streaky item. I want to make sure that I can get a blue buff or a Spear of Shojin for my late game carry. No qualms with leveling, it doesn't kill my econ, and there's definitely a strong potential to lose with that anyway. I pick up a couple of recons here. I love playing Kaisa, and obviously Ashe is another recon, so... Pick up a cloak off of the item drop, not the greatest, cannot be immediately built into something else with the Giant's Belt. Obviously Zephyr is not that great of an early game item slam. Now this is interesting, that gives me a Nyla and a LeBlanc. I love playing admin, I love playing, you know, LeBlanc spell slingers. Soraka's probably my favorite carry in the game, and obviously I went her this game, as you can tell from the title of the video. Immediately going to level 7 after this, I want to start hard win streaking. I hit an MF off the rip. So that's just an easy champ to slap in and win streak with in terms of an AP carry. Even if, I believe this was played on the patch before MF was busted, so not quite as strong, but she was still pretty good, and we'll put our AP items on her. No, I don't. I put them on LeBlanc. Wow. Alright. And even I don't know what I did a week ago. But I do slam all my tank items onto the Alistar. Good play. I suppose I was thinking, because especially with the admin, I didn't even mention the admin trait. But with the admin, it's nice, and I figured after that, getting that admin effect, I just wanted to go straight into playing this composition with the LeBlanc carry and potentially into Soraka carry. So that's what I did, and then Manazane, you know, from there it's just locked in, right? Easy game. And yeah, I suppose I didn't put the items on the MF because, you know, she wasn't good at the time. So it makes sense. I've been playing a lot of this patch, so. Alright, you'll see I hit that early Soraka. And now we're just moving into this fight, and really we're gonna be on a massive win streak like my goal was with fast leveling to 7. After that stage 2 loss streak, and man, I'm in a great spot. I've got the Sona in for Spellslinger and Heart. Got the nice front line. It's just so good from here. And you notice that I don't actually sell the Camille. I'm looking to go for admin. Or at least keep in another admin bonus that can, or another admin champ that can use that bonus. There's certainly a world where I place her with like a Zoe or something like that. Or Prankster plus Hacker since I have the Echo now. I mean, it's honestly insane how hard I high rolled after I fast leveled to 7, right? After that strong loss streak. I mean, this guy's level 5. I'm going against people that are way, way under leveled compared to where I am just because I lost streaks and had 60 gold out of stage 2. Over 60 gold, I should clarify. It's just absolutely disgusting. Looking at these items, obviously, I don't need the blue buff anymore. It's not super attractive to me. I like a Giant Slayer here. Heart Emblem is fine. Yep. Grabbing this Spatula was definitely the right play because, like, think about Soraka items. Obviously, you want the Giant Slayer or, you know, a Guard Breaker, something like that. An extra damage item. But Spatula was certainly the right play because you didn't really have any direction with that spear. You could have gone Chalice, you could have gone Bow, but Chalice, you would rather have a cloak to finish a Dragon Skull on the Alistar, and a Bow could be used for Giant Slayer, so this tier is definitely going to go on to a Heart Emblem, and Heart Zoe, as we know, is super, super busted. Just going to constantly cast and scale up the AP. Yumi, we got Mascot and 4 Heart in instead of the Camille. Super, super good. My Soraka's, yeah, I can see I'm pointing it out with my mouse cursor there. My Soraka's just locked behind all my other ranged units. It was kind of funny. I mean, obviously we still very easily win the fight, but a little goofy. Sell that Annie to make 10. You can still sell units and make econ just before the shop rerolls once you return to the board. You can also spam your sell button. Really important to use your hotkeys once you get higher up in the rankings. Just overall faster. APM, especially if like rerolling. Now here we go, we put our 4th admin in and we get the gold generation admin. We're not going to put it in right now, and we actually decide to completely drop it. I don't know why, I mean, alright, I actually know exactly why I did that. I did that because 4 hearts more important. Just for that scaling the Soraka, but let me tell you, the 25% to drop gold is absolutely insane. And this was on ability cast, so obviously you have the Zoe casting, you know, every 2 seconds. Yumi's casting fairly often. Soraka's casting super, super often, especially at the beginning of the fight with the Mana Zane, so really, I think that was probably the better play, in a way, because there's still 2 frontliners. But it's alright. Getting gold by maintaining the win streak is really, really good. Because you can't just take out your 2-star Alistar or 4 admin. That's just not realistic. And Echo's a really good unit. And obviously, you have to keep 4 heart in, no matter what. Pick up 2 Zoes, open up the emblems, and I have an admin and a heart emblem. Now this is a really hard decision. I go with the heart because, you know, 4 admin. It's an interesting proposition, but obviously, with Blitzcrank, you're not going to have any brawlers, and with... I'm sorry, with Camille, you're not going to have any renegades in, so it's kind of an awkward thing. I'm just looking to put 6 heart in here, and, you know, I'm super, super, super strong. The scaling within the fight is just going to be absolutely bonkers. You know, now maybe it's viable to put a Blitz in with that Lee Sin for the heart bonus. But it doesn't come for a while. See someone trying to play MF here. Just a 1-star, no items. And Soraka, I mean, like I said, she's my favorite carry in the entire set right now. We got yeah, I see Infuse and I instantly reroll for Soraka's carry augment. Actually, let me rewind and give a little bit of insight onto how these augments work, even though most people probably already know. So we got Soraka support, we got Zac support, and LeBlanc, so we know it's 4-4-3. If we look at the traits we have in, there's no mascot forecasts. There's Talia, Spellslinger forecast, but extremely unlikely. I mean, Hacker's Zed, but really we have 6 heart in, so that's prioritized. And we just insta-reroll, because we know we're going to get the Soraka carry. And we get the Zed here and the Zoe from Hacker. But, I mean, I wasn't... There's a world where the correct play is probably to take Infuse, but I just went for the big play. Because, I mean, there was quite a few other augments I could have gotten. I could have gotten, you know, another threat, but whatever. Ended up working out really, really well. I love Berserk. After 15 seconds, all of her casts are going to do damage to the nearest 3 enemies. Super, super good. Here I consider putting in Brawler over this mascot. But All-Star's overall a super good unit, so... Now I see the Star Guardian Heart unit, the Syndra, and I'm trying to figure out, well, I could put in this Syndra somewhere and get 6 heart as well as 3 Star Guardian, but I don't really see it being worth it. It feels weird to roll a Syndra while you're playing 6 heart and it to not be good, but Unfortunately, forgot to put the Lee Sin back in there. Only 5 heart for this fight. As you can see, I'll hold on to this Syndra just in case I find a way to fit her in later. There we go, that's my Soraka 2. Obviously I've got one in the orb back on my bench, or back on my board. Maybe you'll see me trying to figure out how to fit in this freaking 6 heart because I sold the Lee Sin for Econ. Super, super awkward. Really unfortunate play that happened right here. Taking a look at this carousel, we've got a tier on an Echo for a Chalice. You can see I'm kind of pointing it out there with my mouse cursor. And Chalice is quite a good item in this comp because your heart units, they're giving everyone AP, which means that everyone's going to do a pretty solid amount of damage. Obviously, Soraka is the main carry by far in this comp, but you know, giving Zoe, LeBlanc, Sona more AP is never a bad thing. Especially with someone like Sona, where that AP can just directly translate into healing for your team. I do end up giving it to the LeBlanc, though. She's a hacker, she's gonna go back there. Lifesteal away. As you can tell, I'm really not in danger of losing to anybody. This Manazin is just such a good item, man. Looking out for a 3-star Zoe. Give up on the Blanc, just decide to level, put 6 heart back in, as well as 3-star Guardian. The play finally happens. Their Echo's super deep in the back line, does not matter. And this MF, she actually had the carry augment and was doing a lot better than the other MF, you know, the Jeweled Gauntlet and whatnot. Pretty good items, but took out the Soraka, but the rest of the team just too much AP stacked up for that to even really matter. So we picked up some fairly good items here from the Asol, I love Archangels. I think Archangels is kind of underrated. At least in previous sets, it was seen as pretty bad. I was only gold in previous sets, so I kind of like didn't really understand. I can understand. It's kind of the same concept why Ginsu's is bad, because by the time you're scaling up hard enough, it kind of feels like it's almost a waste, and you could have gotten better value from other items. But in this case, I really wanted to give Soraka more scaling throughout the fight, because she's scaling off of every ability cast. She's scaling, and once it hits 15 seconds, she's scaling off of her ability cast individually, plus the heart ability casts. It's just, there's so much scaling going on here with the Soraka. She's a late game demon. She's usually also, because she's in the back right corner, obviously she's going to end up as the last person alive a fair amount. And once I get her to 5-star, or 3-star, she's going to hit the nearest 5 targets. That's her ability upgrade. You can see I'm holding on to 2 Sorakas here. Jesus, that Luigi's Mansion was a shock. We'll keep skipping this one, bro. There we go. This is a pretty strong duelist comp, got double knife's edge. Kind of the same concept as Battle Mage, where, silver isn't good unless you're going more. But, this Soraka, she's just not dying because she casts so often, and she heals on her own casts. And the 3 nearest enemies, when there's 3 enemies left alive, that's the entire board, and you're killing their backline. Which is also interesting, because you can put Soraka same side, because her ability isn't really dependent on positioning. I mean, yes, she's going to ability her target most of the time, but 3 nearest, if you position her same side as the enemy carry, then that could potentially be the difference maker in terms of killing their enemy carry early. I don't often do that, but it's a neat little trick if someone has a really, really potent carry, and you're confident that it's not going to throw your positioning otherwise. Like here, 3 nearest still would have been frontliners, so same side. Not really a great thing to do, and also positioning against MF is always making sure that your carry is opposite a gigantic clump of your heroes. So she never ults the carry. Lots to think about in this game for sure. I see a Soraka with a Guard Breaker. Obviously I don't get it. Guard Breaker is a very good item. Just make sure that he's not going to try to play Soraka, but he happens to be that duelist guy, very weak. Just wants the Guard Breaker. Unfortunate that I couldn't pick up my Soraka, but it's alright. I end up picking up the Syndra with a blue buff, which is nice. I actually decide to roll a little bit even for some more Sorakas, potentially, a Janna 2. Syndra 2 especially would be phenomenal. But obviously hitting Econ is always most important. That's a pretty strong Kaisa. Obviously giving Vayne lots of attack speed as well, but this was probably one of the closer fights. There we go, 2 Zoes off. Roll down a little bit for some more Championes. Hit the Yumi 2 for funsies, why not? We'll try. Not much in terms of that roll down, but yeah, that's what slow rolling is, right? Just roll down, 10 gold every round and stay at 50 as much as you can. This really is such a strong duelist comp. I had no business beating this guy. 3-star Nyla with double Locket and Redemption, and obviously that Zed is rather good. He did beat me pretty easily, that Zed. He's got the hacker lifesteal and all of that, but that was my first loss in, what, 13, 14 rounds? That was my first loss since the Stage 2 loss streak, so absolutely insane that I managed to stay that HP for that long. It's all enabled by AFK, guys. AFK is just absolutely insane for the early loss streak. Probably the best way to play early loss streak, especially to get underground in. It's quite honestly GG at that point. Top 4, easy. I hate using that such strong wording, like guaranteed top 4, but like it'd be really hard to throw an underground AFK start. Because, like, if we compare it to consistency, for example, consistency gives you double win and loss streak gold, so consistency loss streak. You're not getting max loss streak gold until 4 streaks, 4 losses. And then you're getting, what, 6 gold a round? But if you go AFK, you're getting 20 gold after 3 rounds of losing. I think it does end up giving you more gold, at least sooner. Which, more gold sooner means that you hit econ sooner. And then obviously after your 4th round you can get some more gold from underground, or really you'd keep the heist going at that point, to be honest. But just lots of great ways to play loss streak in this set for sure. Especially with these augments. You know, AFK, consistency. Lots of very cool economy augments in this set. This Renegade MF was able to do something, finally took out the Soraka. So I'm falling off a little bit compared to, you know, fully stacked Anima Squad teams, the carry augment MFs. But I'm not really super concerned, although I haven't seen a Soraka in a while, so that's unfortunate, but we're able to get 3 Aegis in, which helps against the MF players. I'm also considering going Ox Force for the front line, because Aphelios stun is a very good utility. Give up on the 3-star Zoe. I don't think she would have done too much for me anyway. And it's just better to try to hit the Soraka 3 at this point. We're level 9, so that's all we can really do. There's our 6th Soraka. We need 2 more because we have that champ duplicator on bench, don't forget. And we're just trying to econ back up to 50 as best we can while also hitting those Sorakas, hopefully, on the way up. I realize I threw a little bit. I'm playing into an MF player, and I've positioned my Sona onto that left side so that MF is more likely to ult. But Syndra actually tossed in my 2nd Soraka over there so that my carry Soraka would stay safe. So Syndra, absolute MVP of this round. That was absolutely disgusting, because I totally threw my positioning and then Syndra tossed in a unit on the right side, and it worked out super well. Could have hit 20 there by selling the 2 4 costs on bench. Unfortunate that I didn't see that. I think I'm looking to reforge an emblem here, yeah. Wait, no way, right? Yeah, okay. I don't know why I was clicking on those. I think I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, what if I reforged an emblem here, bro? That would be crazy. Get hacker? No. pick up the Echo Pair and slap the Warmogs onto Alistar. Full tank now. Just making sure I give my Chalice value to some important champs. Could go on LeBlanc or Syndra, doesn't really matter as long as it gives it to Soraka. And as you can see, the MF with Bunny Mercenary, even with the wider cone, cannot hit my carry in that back right corner. So same side Soraka is actually fairly good into these MF comps. Just because she can dodge that ult. And I barely won that fight as well. You can see Soraka's final cast is what did the killing blow. Absolutely insane. Just holding on to the Zed for if I win this fight, then I can hold on to a 4-cost unit. Thin the pool out a little bit, which is really important when the pool starts dwindling down in terms of, well, you don't have a lot of Sorakas left at the pool, so you gotta take some 4-costs out to make sure that you hit them. Every little bit helps. You know, she's just scaled up so much. I mean, almost 4k damage. Yeah, 24k damage Soraka in that fight. Absolutely wild. If the fight gets past 15 seconds, it was pretty much over because she goes berserk, right? And Archangels. Once Archangels hits like 80 to 100, you know, it's absolutely insane. It's gotten more than its own value, for sure. I'd rather have an Archangel stacked up to 80, 100 stacks than a Giant Slayer, for sure. Because a Giant Slayer doesn't actually give you bonus AP, it just gives you bonus damage. But you gotta think more AP scales higher with crit. Just looking at these item picks, you got Titans, Morello, Redemption, Giant Slayer, Rageblade. You can't actually put any of these items onto your Soraka, so Redemption on a tank is good. And here I'm just rolling down a little bit to hopefully hit this Soraka. I'm one off the Soraka, as you can tell, with that champ duplicator. Don't forget about that. There we go, I hit it. And I champ dupe it in time for this fight. And my god, there it is, the Soraka 3. Pretty much unkillable as well. It's just absolutely insane. So you'll see on her every third cast, she'll hit the 5 closest enemies. Obviously, you won't be able to see it this time around because there's only one enemy left, but yeah, 3,300 damage non-crit. With Archangels at 60, 6 heart, and obviously the admin scaling on her ability as well. It's just an absolutely disgusting game, truly. Not much else to say here. It's GG at this point. You know, I 2-starred the Aphelios. Can't quite remember if there's another fight after this or not. But just while the last fight, yeah, see, look at that, 5 people done. Well, not done, but you know, 5 people hit by the cast. We'll see another one coming up soon as well. Yep, just absolutely insane. Wipes out that entire side of the board. That was actually a ghost. apologies. So yeah, while this last fight finishes up, this 3 Soraka game, it all was enabled by AFK. If you get AFK in your games, first augment, it is almost always an insta-take. Obviously, there's some fringe cases where, you know, a comp you have, like, synergizes really, really well. But overall, I'd say there's no reason to not play AFK first augment, because, you know, it's 50, 60 gold out of stage 2. It's really going to enable you to play into a very, very strong late game. And you know, that fast 7 level is going to enable you to win streak, which further helps your economy. It's just, it all cycles back into this crazy, crazy high power level to start the Fiddlesticks, so that Sentry can toss them in. Remember to buy good units for your Sentry to toss in. Fiddlesticks is a great one, especially 2-starring them. But yeah, this was really a very strong loss streak game. Enabled the Soraka 3, just absolutely insane. This was my first 3-star forecast ever. Very happy to have it happen. And there you go, that's a first place here in that game. Alright, well thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this second VOD review of a Teamfight Tactics ranked game, and I will see you later.